Look, India, China have had a recent history of tension, but there is also a move for de-escalation, which is going on. After all, and I think China has worked quite hard, and India has responded to try and bring this back to some kind of normalization. This will be a process. I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately, but it is a process which is being speeded up. It started with the Kazan summit in Russia when Mr. Modi and President Xi Jinping met in October 2024, where they said we should get back to some kind of re-engagement and de-escalation. After that, there were a series of meetings at different levels, and the most important one was when Foreign Minister of China Wang Yi came in August 23rd, 24th. And he had three meetings with Jaishankar, with Ajit Doval, and with the PM, who endorsed what was happening. And in that, the most important one was where India's National Security Advisor, Mr. Doval, and Wang Yi had a meeting where they agreed on a 10-point consensus framework. So this framework will be for, it's on de-escalation of the border, according to the process of the joint working coordinating groups of the two militaries. They would de-escalate gradually. They would, have a buffer, maybe have a buffer zone. But at the moment, there's still 50,000 troops of China and India on the border. So that will have to, also de-escalate. So the process is on. They also spoke of engaging in hydrological communication. And in this, what President Xi Jinping kind of said today was strategic communications are very important. So it is a continuation of their argument that there should be strategic communication between countries in the region and also between India and China. So this is a step forward. And they agreed to restart border trade. So these are major points of de-escalation. See, PM Modi raised the cross-border terrorism because for India, this is a priority area. Now, for China, terrorism is a problem because their own engineers have been killed in Balochistan. So, and they have terrorism in Xinjiang. So it's important for all. It's important for Pakistan, but their behavior has to change, right? In which they have to have zero tolerance for terrorism. So that we have to see how it impacts their day-to-day policy. So it will be in the final statement in the Xinjiang Declaration that countries should have zero tolerance for terrorism. But as far as India is concerned, we have to see whether the behavior, number one, of Pakistan has changed and how much pressure can China put on Pakistan to not have this cross-border terrorism. And I think PM Modi also pointed to cyber terrorism, which is also important. And we have to safeguard against that. And for that, all the countries have to cooperate. In this, what China acknowledged was that if there is any terrorism, there should be joint investigation. So now, but India says that if they face any cross-border terrorism, they will retaliate as they did in Operation Sindoor. So India continues with its position and its policy of no tolerance, and the other countries have a slightly softer position where they would put pressure. But for them, Pakistan is very important. As you can see, the US has got a partnership with Pakistan on terrorism because every country uses it for their own purpose. So India's position is very clear. And I think China is understood that if they want to have better relations with India, they will have to put pressure and not, try and support Pakistan on these issues. So I think that came out quite clearly in this SCO meeting. Look, given the fact of Trump's tariff, the SCO's role definitely increases. I think they will lower tariffs for each other. They would try and improve logistics. They would try and have trade in national currencies, and that's already there between Russia and India and Russia and China, but not between India and China. But there will be movement forward. They will try and have some kind of financial messaging system and a logistic system and a digital, maybe digital logistics, in the sense of which Russia has proposed. And Russia has also proposed that India and the Eurasian Economic Union have a free trade agreement. So SCO overall, with all these 10 countries and the partner countries, they will push their trade because, of course, India is facing the highest tariffs of any country that US has put on India. But then Russia is facing sanctions. There are sanctions on China also from the US. So all these countries are having some problems with the US. They don't want to have these problems. They're engaging and negotiating, but it means they themselves have to diversify. And who's there to diversify but each other? So SCO will play and is already playing an important role in this.